Hey, and welcome to another Tech Tuesday. This is the back of Chad's head from Ascension Worship. This week we are doing a video that I think will be helpful for a lot of you guys. We're going to talk about what is potentially a contentious subject for some people. It's how to wrap cables properly.
Hey, what do you say? Yes, it's that time again. It's Tech Tuesday.
All right, maybe you've seen videos like this before and you just don't get what the big deal is. Let's start by saying why it's important to wrap cables properly is because we want our cables to be not a trip hazard on stage. So really practically, you've probably seen before those old extension cords, yellow or orange or green, and someone has wrapped them over their shoulder like this. And what ends up happening is it's this really ugly kind of figure eight pattern because you have forced the rubber and the copper into an unnatural shape, and over time it's just retained that shape. And if you were to run that across your stage, it's probably not going to lay flat on the ground very well because it's holding that shape. So what we want is for our cables to be able to sit on the floor and not be a trip hazard. If we need to tape them, we want them to sit flat so it's easy to tape them from end to end. And you just can't do that when you wrap a cable poorly. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to show two ways to wrap cable that are not the elbow technique. Instead, we're going to be using a spiral, but we're going to demonstrate it using a belt instead of a cable because the belt is flat. And so you're going to be able to better see how I'm wrapping the cable and why it's important to do it over under. So let's get right into it. What is over under? Okay, well, when you wrap your cable, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to hold it in my left hand with what would be the connectors facing away from me. Some people do it the other way around. Either way works, but this is the way that works best for me. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're simply going to make a spiral. So I'm just wrapping the cable around. You see nothing crazy here. It just looped around my hand flat. Okay, so we call that over because the excess is sitting over on top of the rest of the cable. So we're now going to do under. The way I like to do this is we're going to hold our cable like we're giving thanks, we'd call it, and I'm going to twist my hands in. And I'm making just another loop, just like we did before, but you see how the excess is now underneath. So let me do that again so you can see that. So again, we got a regular loop over, and then we're going to twist in. So we're giving thanks, twisting inward, and making under. Okay, and then we'll do that again, over, and then again, giving thanks, under. Now, the reason why this is important is I'm going to grab both ends of this cable, and if I pull out straight, you can see we end up with a completely flat shape like what we started with. So if I were to put this as a cable on the stage, let's say I plug into the snake, put the pile of the cable there, and then just walk the other end out to the edge of the stage, it's going to land flat, and then I'll be able to tape it down well, or if I'm not taping it down, it'll be less likely to be tripped on compared to something that's going to spiral. Now, here's the way most people do this, and unfortunately the way it comes in the packaging, because just the way machines wrap cables, is over. And I want to demonstrate to you why we don't want to do this in the production world. So I'm just going to make a loop, make a loop, make a loop, make a loop. I didn't differentiate the loops. They're all the same exact way. And now when I grab the ends and pull out straight, you can see it is spiraled all the way down the cable. In fact, it spiraled 360 degrees 4 times, completely over. Because what's happening is every time you make that loop, you are flipping the entire cable over 360 degrees. And so if I were to take that cable and again, walk it out over the stage, well, it's more likely to be a trip hazard. Now, it doesn't look too bad on here because this is just cloth, but some cables, especially Cat 5, for example, it might look like a big stretched out slinky, and it's going to be sticking up. It's going to be likely to catch on shoes, especially, maybe women's heels or something. It's going to be harder to tape down because the cable is being forced in an unnatural position. So again, the way we want to do it is over, so just a regular loop, give thanks, twist over, so under, over, under, and now it's going to lay flat, and you're going to be good to go. All right, guys, I hope that made sense. I hope that clears things up a little bit for you. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, have a great week. Again, this is Chad from Ascension Worship. I hope this has been helpful for you and your team. Come back here every Tuesday for new information.